Chief Justice of the United States. This is the single highest judicial office in the country, presiding over the Supreme Court and casting one vote equal to every other justice on the bench, despite the added administrative authority the title carries. The Chief Justice also presides over presidential impeachment trials in the Senate, a constitutional duty no other judge in the country holds. New York Times Supreme Court correspondent Adam Liptak has covered how much influence this single position has over which cases the court even agrees to hear, since the Chief Justice assigns opinion-writing duties whenever they vote with the majority. Why does that assignment power matter so much? Because the justice who writes the opinion often shapes how the law is understood for decades afterward. Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. This is the title held by the other 8 members of the nation's highest court, each nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate for a lifetime appointment. Unlike the Chief Justice, Associate Justices hold no special administrative duties, but their votes carry exactly the same weight in every single case. Together with the Chief Justice, these 9 votes represent the final word on federal law, with no court above them and no appeal beyond their decision. Circuit Judge. This is the rank held by judges serving on one of the 13 United States Courts of Appeals, reviewing decisions made by district courts below them for legal errors. Circuit judges do not retry cases or hear new evidence. Instead, panels of 3 circuit judges review the written record and decide whether the law was applied correctly the first time. Retired federal appeals judge J. Michael Luttig has spoken publicly about how much authority circuit courts hold in practice, since the Supreme Court only reviews a small fraction of the tens of thousands of cases these courts decide every year. That means for the overwhelming majority of federal cases, a circuit court's ruling is the actual final word, whether or not most people realize it. Each of the 13 circuits also covers a specific geographic region, which means the exact same federal law can sometimes be interpreted differently depending on which circuit hears the case, at least until the Supreme Court steps in to resolve the disagreement. Chief Judge of a Circuit. This is not a separate judicial rank, but an administrative title held by the circuit judge with the most seniority who is under 65 years old at the time the position opens. The Chief Judge of a Circuit manages court operations, oversees judicial conduct complaints against other judges in that circuit, and represents the circuit in dealings with Congress and the judiciary's national administrative body. This title rotates automatically based on seniority rules rather than being appointed or elected, a detail almost nobody outside the legal system ever learns. District Judge. This is the rank held by judges presiding over the 94 federal district courts spread across the country, serving as the trial-level judges of the federal system. District judges are the ones who actually hear witness testimony, rule on evidence, and preside over federal criminal and civil trials from start to finish. Every federal criminal trial you have ever heard about in the news, from corporate fraud cases to major drug prosecutions, took place in front of a judge holding exactly this rank. District judges also hold lifetime appointments under the same constitutional protections as Supreme Court justices and circuit judges, meaning a president who nominates a district judge is shaping the federal bench decades into the future, long after that president has left office. Chief Judge of a District. Just like at the circuit level, this is an administrative title rather than a separate judicial rank, assigned to the most senior qualified district judge in that particular court. This judge manages the court's caseload, assigns cases among fellow judges, and handles administrative matters like courthouse security and staffing. Should a chief judge have more legal authority than colleagues on the same bench? The answer is no. The added authority here is entirely managerial, not judicial. Senior Judge. This is a semi-retired status available to federal judges who meet certain age and years of service requirements, allowing them to continue hearing cases voluntarily at a reduced workload. A senior judge still holds their lifetime commission and can preside over trials, write opinions, and sit on appellate panels, just with far more flexibility than an active judge. Legal scholar Erwin Chemerinsky has written extensively about how senior judges quietly keep the federal court system functioning, since without their voluntary continued service, the backlog of federal cases would grow dramatically worse almost overnight. Magistrate Judge. This is a position appointed by district judges rather than by the president, typically serving 8-year renewable terms instead of a lifetime appointment. Magistrate judges handle pretrial matters, issue search warrants, oversee minor criminal proceedings, and can preside over full civil trials if both parties agree to it. This rank sits below district judges specifically because magistrate judges lack the same constitutional authority. Their rulings can be appealed directly to the district judge who appointed them. Despite that limitation, magistrate judges handle an enormous share of the federal system's daily workload, since routine matters like bail hearings and discovery disputes would otherwise overwhelm the smaller number of district judges entirely. Bankruptcy judge. This is another position appointed rather than nominated by the president, serving 14-year terms and presiding exclusively over bankruptcy cases within a specific district. Bankruptcy judges are considered Article I judges rather than Article III judges, meaning their authority comes from a statute passed by Congress rather than directly from the Constitution's Judiciary Clause. That distinction might sound technical, but it has real consequences. Article I judges do not receive the same lifetime tenure protections that Article III judges hold, which is why their terms are fixed rather than indefinite. There are more than 800 federal judges in the United States. Almost nobody outside the legal system can rank them correctly. Some can overturn a president's executive order, others can only recommend a decision to someone above them. Now, here is the detail almost nobody expects. Not every federal judge has the same level of constitutional protection. Article III judges, which includes Supreme Court justices, circuit judges, and district judges, hold their positions for life and cannot have their salaries reduced, a safeguard designed specifically to keep them independent from political pressure. Magistrate judges and bankruptcy judges do not receive these same protections because they were created by Congress rather than directly by the Constitution itself. That single structural difference explains why some federal judges answer to voters and politics far less than others, even though all of them wear the same black robe. There is another layer worth understanding. Beyond this core hierarchy, several specialized federal courts exist entirely outside it, including the Court of International Trade and the Court of Federal Claims, staffed by judges with their own distinct appointment processes and jurisdictions. These courts rarely make headlines, but they handle enormous volumes of trade disputes and claims against the federal government every single year, staffed by judges who serve fixed terms rather than lifetime appointments. What does this mean for you? It means the next time a court ruling makes the news, you can immediately understand its weight. A district court ruling can be appealed. A circuit court ruling is very likely final. A Supreme Court ruling is the law of the land with no appeal beyond it at all. Understanding where a ruling sits in this hierarchy tells you exactly how much power that decision actually carries and whether the story is truly over or just entering its next stage. There are more than 800 federal judges in the United States. Now you can rank every single one of them, and you understand exactly how much authority each rank actually holds. If this helps you understand how your government actually works, hit like, drop a comment with what system we should break down next, and subscribe for more.